Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Gabe. I want to talk today about charts in Excel and how you can use these visualizations to make your data look a lot better and explain a lot more versus just having numbers in a spreadsheet. I think charts are a great way to do this. I've also seen a lot of bad charts out there in the past. So I want to just give you a few quick tips and tricks on how to make your charts be much more meaningful when you're trying to visualize data. So I've got a couple of examples here that I want to walk through. My first example is how to create a chart that has two different kind of variables in here. And what I'm talking about here is let's say I've got a mix of service tiers and I've got a percentage and I've also got some usage for the customers that are in each one of these service tiers. And I want to visualize this information. I'm going to go ahead and click on insert. I'm going to click on chart and I'm going to start with a bar chart. Well, this doesn't do me a whole lot of good because I have two very different types of data here. I have a percentage and I have whole dollar or whole, I shouldn't say dollars, whole numbers here that I want to display as well. So the scale is completely off. So the easiest way to fix this is by changing the chart type, going down here to combo, and on if I've got two very different variables here, one that's percentage, one that's account, maybe I've got one that's a dollar amount and one that's a percentage. You can do this with all kinds of different things. But the best thing to do here is just to create a secondary axis. So now that I've created this secondary axis, I can see that my charts make a lot more sense. So I've got percentage on one axis and the amount on the other axis. So my line chart here is showing the amount here, the usage amount in this example, and the bar chart is showing the usage distribution. One of my other favorite things, I'm not a huge fan of just having the legend here. One of the other things that I really like is to add a data table. So if you come up here under chart design and go to add chart element and go to data table, you can click on data table. I like to have one with legend keys just so I can easily tell what the information is here. But you can see here that then it will display the actual numbers here in the chart below as well. So you've got the percentage distribution as well as the numbers that are showing here as well also. I just find this to be very helpful when you're looking at a chart. You can certainly add, elements to the chart as well, or if you wanted to add a data label, you could do that also. I just find that to be very busy and I don't think it looks awesome on the chart, where I can show this nice clean visualization and then show a data table right below it that shows the visual of this information. The other example I wanted to show here is something that I've recently learned about, and that is Sparklines in Excel. So there's a couple of quick tips I want to give you on as it relates to Sparklines, as well as just a couple of general Excel tips. I know I've talked before that I'm not a huge fan of the mouse, but this is one area where I actually do really like the mouse. If you have a trend here as an example, so I've got January and February listed out here, and let's say I want to populate the dates out for the remainder of this. If I've got two pieces of information here, Excel is generally very smart at realizing that, okay, clearly you're starting a trend. And if you just click in the bottom right-hand corner of the cell there and fill that over, it's going to fill in the dates. The same thing works with numbers. If I've got a series going here and I want to fill in some numbers, I can just do fill down and it will fill in those numbers. So just as a little FYI, little nice trick there. So let me copy and paste this information over here. I'm going to fill in a few more months. And I can see that I've got these nice numbers, but maybe I want to make a quick visualization and I don't want to do a chart. So one way to visualize this is with a sparkline. So if you click over here on insert, and if you come over here to line, you can do lines, you can do columns, you can even do win-loss charts in here as well, which I think is pretty cool. The ones I've played around with mostly here have been line charts. So if we click on line, we'll have to select the range that we want to visualize, and we can click on OK. And then we can go ahead and just copy and paste that down so it will automatically fill this in. From a visual perspective as well, I would also recommend putting in some markers here so you can see how many data points are actually in this visual. You can obviously change the visuals around a little bit as well. If you don't like, the colors that are there, you can make any changes that you want there as well. But I find this to be really helpful because it just gives a quick visual of your data so that somebody looking at the chart can see, oh, cool, the trend is going down on our 50 meg tier, but it's increasing on our 1 gig and 500 meg tier as an example, as in this example. And you can quickly kind of see where those trends are going. So if you have data in an Excel chart, or in an Excel file, I should say, and you don't want to create a whole chart visualization, Sparklines are a great way to do this in the actual chart. And then as you add additional data points, you can always update the range to include those additional data points as well. Hope everyone found this helpful as a super quick tutorial about charts. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about any of this, and we'll be back soon with more Excel tips and tricks. Have a great day.